What's good, YouTube? NeoNexudus here. No deck profile this time. I'm instead bringing you a discussion type video. Arranged in front of me, I have a selection of cards that have been talked about a little bit recently, and I've been talking it over with the likes of Scapegoat User, Darkness L 1989, etc. And we've been discussing good side deck cards, feasible side deck cards against the new upcoming meta, if you like, with artifacts, was it the Hats deck, hands, artifact, track tricks, and all variants of. Okay, so hands have become rather popular. Fire and Ice hands, in case you don't know what they do, Fire and Ice hand essentially recruit each other. They have nearly flip reverse stats of each other. Fire hand has 1600 attack. When it's destroyed by the opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, has to be destroyed. If it's sent, doesn't happen. You get to destroy a monster on the field. If you destroy that monster, you get to destroy a monster on the opponent's side of the field. If you destroy their monster, then you can special summon a nice hand from the deck. And if they destroy that by the same method, then it pops a spell trap. Yada yada yada. So, what do you do against that first turn set? Because obviously, some cards are starting to be set now, like the hands and Gidget armors. Worms have become particularly popular. And Mind Control. Mind Control is a nice little card for them first turn face down cards. You don't know what the hell they're playing, so they just got a face down card, so you think it's like a hand or something. You go Mind Control. You take that monster. It's bound to be at level 4, really. Unless you're going against something like zombies, in which case it's a Spirit Reaper. But still, Mind Control. You Mind Control their Gidget armor. You Mind Control their Fire or Ice hand. You flip it up, and then you summon your own monster and overlay if you want. But I recommend first trying to bait out the back row by going Mind Control, take their monster, summon your own, declare an attack. That's then the point where they'll waste something like a Mirror Force or anything like that. So hopefully if they got Mirror Force, they're going to destroy their own card as well. But they'll be less inclined to do that. But they might have to because, main phase 2, overlay for a rank 4. So Mind Control's pretty good. It's also a nice little bait out card against like Bujins, because obviously Yamato is their key player. Bujins revolve around Yamato search dump. It forces out the turtle because hair can't protect them from Mind Control. So you Mind Control their Yamato, and then it baits out their turtle. If they don't have turtle, if you have this card in hand first turn, they don't mill out a turtle, they're more than likely to mill out a hare. You go Mind Control, take Yamato, summon your own monster, and overlay. Which, worst case scenario, they're going to Black Horn, Bottomless, whatever. So, try and have some precautionary measures, but it's still getting rid of the Yamato. So it's, in a sense, it can set them back a turn. Mind Control, I used to love running it all the time. It sort of lost a bit of luster with me for a while. But with the amount of things being set and stuff like that, I think this is quite viable. There's quite a lot of level 4 decks running around. And obviously if you're playing dragons, you're not really going to be... The only time you're ever going to really want to use Mind Control against dragons is, to take their Big Eye or Dragosack and activate the effect. So it's nice for those purposes. I'm also going to talk to you about Knock, Nobleman of Crossout. In case you guys don't know what this does, and it's not going to focus because it's too blurry. Basically, you select one of the opponent's face down monsters and banish it. And if it's a flip effect monster, all copies from both people's decks get banished. So say, I don't know, it's Man-Eater Bug, that's a flip monster. Anything that has flip written on it. Raikou. Basically, you will banish that copy of Raikou on the field, but then both players have to go through the decks and banish all other copies. This can be a little bit of a double-edged sword because they can say if you do banish a flip effect monster, can I confirm that you have no targets in your deck? But really, except for light swans, there's not many flip effect monsters running around. There's monsters that have effects when they flip face up, but they're not a flip effect monster. So Nobleman, like Mind Control, is pretty good against the hands, devastating against their first turn set armor. You know, if you manage somehow to get a Bujin Yamato face down, you can knock it, because they can't protect it while it's face down. Knock is just a really nice card. Ghost Tricks has sort of seen a little bit of a rise with the Monarchs and things like that. So you Nobleman cross out their Jiangxi or whatever they set. So that's pretty good. DD Crow. Skullmeister has been picking up in popularity. Skullmeister is a secret rare from Star Strike Blast that essentially is a 1700 Dark Fiend beat stick, secret rare, ridiculously expensive, because everything in that set was just good. And basically, Skullmeister can be activated during the damage step, and you send it from the hand to the graveyard to negate an effect that activates in graveyard. Whereas with DD Crow, you know, DD Crow's been around a lot longer, since like Storm of Striker Neos or whatever it is. But most of you should have a DD Crow laying around somewhere, and I'm sure if you check your commons box, you'll get a Nobleman a Crossout or a Mind Control. DD Crow, you pitch it from your hand to grave to banish a card in your opponent's graveyard. So it works against things like Pot of Dichotomy. If they normal summon their Traptrix Dioneer to get back their Murmillow, you can chain this to banish the Murmillow. You know, change it to one of their targets of Dichotomy. If they special summon Dioneer to get back their Trap Hole card, you know, I believe you can discard this card to the graveyard. Yeah, it's discard this card to the graveyard, target one card. So you can even banish their target when they special summon Dioneer. Unfortunately, you can't really use it against the hands because they're all in the damage step. But, you know, it's a good card. You know, I think DD Crow should be picking up play sometime soon, because you can essentially banish annoying things in the opponent's graveyard. For instance, they can go Mark II with Gidges. In normal summon Mark II target monster, DD Crow. They've lost a play. Yes, it's a neg1, but it's sort of a, I don't know, a bit of an annoyance for the opponent as well. Even against Bujins, yes, they can essentially chain from the graveyard, but you're forcing it out. You know, you don't have to waste any other cards, you just sort of force out with Crow. I know I'm mentioning Bujins a lot, but Bujins are a pretty good deck, and I find them particularly annoying myself. I don't know about you guys. And Hats, and Tricks, Worms, blah blah blah, yeah, they're all sort of same. Against Worms, if you ever come against them, if they go Summons X, mill out a Yagan, DD Crow that Yagan, because otherwise that Yagan will be coming back face down and it's like a built-in compulse. So, DD Crow, it's pretty good. Yeah. Goza Match. Now, Mega Capital G talked about Goza Match in one of his more recent videos, and Goza Match essentially means both players can only control one attribute of a monster on the field, and you declare that attribute upon the activation. All other attributes would be sent to the graveyard via game mechanic. So, Goza Match is not quite as good as its sort of brother or cousin, Rivalry of Warlords. You guys may remember years ago when Rivalry and Gozen were sort of, oh, do we run Rivalry, do we run Gozen, do we run both, sort of thing. And it's sort of like Gozen's come back a bit because of essentially hand tricks and things running the hands and stuff like that. Yes, the Bujins are all light, Gidges are all earth, Madolches are all earth, and blah blah blah. But it's against decks that are like teching the hands. So, and it also means that they can't overlay into anything else except for the attribute they have on the field. So, say they're running a light-based deck, they have to go into a light Exceed monster. They can't honor RQ and shit. So, it's okay. Goza Match isn't bad, but it's not exactly great at the moment. I much prefer Rivalry of Warlords, because it does sort of mean that certain decks can't put other monsters on board. Whereas if they're running the hands and they've got a hand face on the field, they cannot put anything else on board except for that hand. They can't summon anything else. because that hand, whether it's a Pyro or as an Aqua, will be the only type of monster on the field that they control. Whereas with Gozen Match, it's attributes, so they're in a light-based deck. You know, they don't really have to worry about something's not a light or earth or whatever. Whereas rather with Warlords, this can be quite devastating against Madolche because they're all different types. You got warriors, you got beasts, and all things like that. And I think one's a fairy type, so you know, rivalry is quite good. So when they go, for instance, well, it can shut down the Quid Tiramisu play. When they play the cat and go Hoot Cake effect to special summon one of the level 4s, you flip the rivalry rather. So it gets, they have to make a choice. Do they keep that level 4 or do they keep the 2 level 3s? You know, it also prevents them from making things like Lavier and stuff to get back Angeli. I think Rivalry's mainly good against hand tricks and Madolche. Madolche are becoming a little bit of a problem. You know, it's just like first turn, Angeli into Hoot Cake banish Angeli, get out, whatever. So, yeah, Rivalry of the Warlords and Gozen Match. Nice side deck cards, but I recommend Rivalry over Gozen. But it all depends on your locals and the event you're going to. Because obviously against Fire Fist they're all Beast Warrior, so this doesn't really do anything. But you know, it still look on your matchups. And then finally I'm going to talk about Crevice into Different Dimension. As you probably saw in the deck video uploaded from George of Tinker Sandwich, he was running this card, I believe, in this side deck. It's quite a handy little card because, you know, you declare one attribute and you banish 2 cards of the same attribute in the graveyard. So if they go, I don't know, Constellar Kaus, I think it is. No, sorry, it's Algadi. Constellar Algadi, target a card in the grave is like, well, Chain Crevice, I'm going to banish 2 lights. The target you targeted and something else. DD Crow is a hand trap, so they don't always see it coming, and this can be MST'd, but then you can chain it and just banish 2 monsters in the grave. Crevice is okay. Like DD Crow, can't be activated during damage step or anything, whereas DD Crow reduces your hand by 1, and it, you know, it is chainable, but, you know, you're obviously losing hand advantage, whereas you set this, and even if they MST it, you can still chain it to the MST, unless obviously it's in the end phase. But Crevice and DD Crow are sort of same, you know, against things that target things in the graveyard, like Treacherous Murmillo and things like that. You can sort of banish stuff. So, yeah, that's just some food for thought, guys. I know I've rambled on probably a little bit too long, but, you know, I just wanted to get this sort of discussion going. If you guys got any, you know, super hot side deck tech cards that you feel like sharing with me, by all means, link me to your video, comment on my video. Hit me up with PMs and whatnot. And if you want a card to be talked about on my channel, let me know and I'll see if I have it. If not, I'll pull up Yu-Gi-Oh! Wicker and do a video on that. So, yeah. Tuning probably towards next week where I'll be doing my Fire King updated deck list video. I know it's like going to be like the 3rd draft of it, but Fire Kings are kind of like my pet deck at the moment. I quite enjoy playing Fire Kings, and I'm just sort of trying to figure out the best build, really, because Murmurs have gotten a bit stale for me at the moment. And Quackimiru, they're lovely and fun, but they're by no means, you know, high-level competition worthy. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, catch you all on the flip side. NeoNexudus signing out. Peace.